Now see, what is a cardiac output? Okay, so basically cardiac output means it is the quantity of blood pumped into the aorta each minute by the heart. Okay, that means our aorta, okay, aorta is connected to the ventricles. Okay, so when the ventricles are contract, the blood moving through the aorta to the different body part. Okay, that means in every minute the amount of blood which is pumped out from the heart to the outside, in every minute the amount of blood which is pumped out from the heart to the outside is basically known as a cardiac output. Okay, so it is basically known as a cardiac output. Output means ejected out, the amount of blood which is present inside the heart. Okay, the blood is pumped out through the aorta to the different parts of the body. Okay, so you need to know the amount of blood which is going out from the heart in every minute is called as a cardiac output. Okay, so how we can demonstrate this cardiac output? By equation. Okay, the equation is cardiac output equals to the heart rate into stroke volume. Heart rate into stroke volume. Okay, now see, what is heart rate? Heart rate means the heartbeat. Okay, so in every minute number of heartbeats are 72 beats per minute. Okay, so in 1 minute our heart pumped, actually our heart is contracting and relaxation, contraction and the relaxation of the heart is 72 times per minute, because a particular heartbeat need total 0.8 second to complete. They need 0.8 second to complete. That means in 1 minute, in 1 minute total as a total 72 times per minute. So this is called as a heart rate. Okay, now what is stroke volume? Stroke volume means the amount of blood which is ejected per contraction by the ventricle is approximately 70 ml. Okay, so stroke volume is the amount of blood ejected per contraction by the ventricles is approximately 70 ml. Okay, that means the amount of blood which is ejected out from the ventricle through the aorta to the different body parts in every beat, in every heartbeat. Okay, because in 0.8 second one heartbeat is completed. So in 0.8 second the amount of blood which is ejected out from the ventricle to the different parts of the body is called as stroke volume. Okay, so how we can calculate the cardiac output now? Now cardiac output equals to heart rate into stroke volume. Total heart rate is the 72 times, stroke volume is the 70 ml. So total you get 72 into 70 ml, total 5040 ml. That means almost 5 liter. That means almost 5 liter of blood is ejected out from the heart to the different body parts in per minute. Okay, so cardiac output is the 5 liter of blood which is ejected out from the heart to the different parts of the body is almost 5 liter of blood. Okay, so this is the cardiac output basic calculation. Okay, now you go to, you all understood? That means the amount of blood which is ejected out from the heart per minute is called as a cardiac output. Okay, so in case of male it almost around 5 liter, but in case of female it almost around 4.9 liter per minute, because the rhythmic contraction of the heart in case of female is somewhat lesser compared to the male. That's why the amount of blood which is released to the outside in every minute, okay, it almost 4.9 liter in case of female, and in case of male almost 5.04 liter in case of male. Okay, so this is the basic knowledge about the cardiac output. Now we need to know about the how cardiac output is regulated, okay, by different types of parameters. So different types of parameters are here which can regulate the cardiac output. Okay, now going for an, okay, now see, so regulation of the cardiac output. Okay, so the regulation of the cardiac output basically done by different types of parameters. The first parameter is called Frank-Starling mechanism. Regulation of cardiac output basically done by different types of parameters. Okay, so the first parameter is the Frank-Starling mechanism. Okay, now what is Frank-Starling mechanism? So two scientists are there, Frank and Starling. So they demonstrated that how cardiac output is regulated by extension of the cardiac muscle present inside the heart. Okay, now see, so these are the points related to the Frank-Starling mechanism. So first point is, here we see, cardiac muscle contraction is dependent on the initial length of the muscle fiber. Okay, so the contraction of the cardiac muscle, okay, it is always depend on the initial length of the muscle fiber. So that means what? Suppose a rubber, you think about a rubber, okay, so rubber have a initial length. Okay, so if you pull the rubber for some time, okay, if you pull the rubber for some time and again relax it, then what happen? The rubber is again going to the normal state, okay, but very fast rate. That means the amount of pulling of the rubber is maximum, then the amount of contraction of the rubber also maximum. Okay, that means the cardiac muscle contraction also depend on the initial length of the muscle fiber. Then see next one, the degree of tension on the muscle when it begins to contract is called preload. Okay, just like same, suppose you pulling a rubber to the maximum. Okay, so when you pulling a rubber, they giving a particular tension to the muscle. They giving a tension to the particular muscle, and this muscle tension when pulling the muscle is called as a preload. Okay, just like when you pulling a rubber, the rubber giving a particular tension on the particular head of the rubber. Then what happen? When you again release the rubber and again it come back to the original state. Just like same, when the heart muscles are relaxed, the muscles are also pulling like that. They are also pulling. Okay, so when the pulling the muscles during the relaxation of the heart, they giving a tension to the muscle, and this tension is called preload tension. Preload tension. Okay, then the load against which muscle exert its contraction force, the load against which the muscle exert its contractile force is called afterload. Okay, so just like same, when you pulling the rubber, they forming a load which is called preload, and when you release the rubber, then what happen? The rubber is again going to the normal state, and this tension of the rubber when you release the rubber, it is called as the afterload. Just like same, when the heart muscles are relaxed state, when the ventricles are relaxed in state, then the muscles are pulling, they giving a particular state of time which is called as a preload time. Okay, and after that, when the ventricles are or the auricles are again contract, then this condition is called afterload. Okay, when you relax the heart muscle, they provide a preload tension, and when you release the tension, then again the heart contract, and this condition is called afterload contraction force. Okay, the preload is usually considered to be the end diastolic pressure. You can see the end diastolic pressure. So preload is nothing but it is the diastolic pressure. When the heart is at diastolic state, when it is relaxed state, then the muscles are pulling behind. Okay, and this condition is called preload tension. Okay, then see, greater the end diastolic volume, the greater is the stretch of the cardiac muscle. Okay, so the amount of blood which is getting inside the heart, if it is maximum, that means what? Your heart is also relaxes maximum. So when the heart relax maximum, the amount of blood also getting fill the heart maximum. So jimane tomar ki hobo relaxation jimane beshi hobo, himane ki hobo, himane beshi volume or blood bidor humabo nohoy. So this is called preload condition. The amount of blood which is present inside the heart is maximum. Okay, then the amount of stretch also generated more in the cardiac muscle. Okay, This is called preload tension. Then see, this increased initial length of the muscle fiber results in the greater force of contraction and is referred to as Frank-Starling law of heart. Okay, so this condition is called Frank-Starling law of heart. That means what? The initial increase of the muscle fiber. The initial increase of the muscle fiber is done by the end diastolic pressure. Okay, at the end of the diastole, the amount of pressure which is generated in the muscle fiber of the heart, okay, it can produce a powerful contraction force to the heart. Okay, and this condition is called Frank-Starling law of heart. That means when the end diastolic pressure is more, then the contraction is also more. Tamane ki hobo tomar rubber to tumi jimane beshi taniba, hi himane beshi speed of contraction hobo rubber to, hoy just like same. When the heart is also relaxes more during the end diastolic period, then at the same time the heart also contract very fast. Okay. So now see the amount of relaxation of the heart. The amount of relaxation of the heart during the end diastolic period. The amount of relaxation of the heart during the end diastolic period also generate a powerful contraction later on. That means when you pulling the heart more, when you pulling the heart muscles more, then they also exert a powerful contraction force on the muscle. Okay, at the same time heart also contract very fast, and this condition is called as the Frank-Starling law of the heart. Okay, the amount of relaxation of the heart is more, then the amount of contraction is also very fast. Okay, so this condition is called Frank-Starling law of the heart. Okay, now see, the intense stimulation by sympathetic nerve can increase the heart rate. Okay, the sympathetic, there is a particular nerve which is called the sympathetic nerve. So sympathetic nerves are connected to the heart directly. All the sympathetic nerves, they are connected to the heart directly. Okay, so during the stimulation of the sympathetic nerve, they also increases the heart rate, or the heart cardiac output is also increases by the stimulation of the sympathetic nerve. Okay, so it also increases the force of contraction and increasing the volume of the blood pumped and increasing the ejection pressure. Okay, so when the sympathetic nerve stimulated the heart, it increases the force of contraction of the heart. Okay, the force of contraction of the heart is also increases by stimulation of the sympathetic nerve. Then when the force of contraction is increases, that means the volume of the blood is also increases, the amount of blood which is pumped out. Jimane contraction to jimane fast hobo, himane beshi blood hi bairor uliai dibo na nai. That means the volume is also increases. The volume of blood which is ejected out from the heart to the outside is also increases when the contraction is increases. Okay, so this is done by the sympathetic nerve. Okay, then see, conversely, inhibition of the sympathetic nerve. So this sympathetic nerve is inhibit kori diyo. Ite ki hobo? When the inhibition of the sympathetic nerve arises, then they can decreases the cardiac pumping. The cardiac pumping or the cardiac output is decreases when the inhibition of the sympathetic nerve occurs. Okay, now see, in normal condition, at slow rate, stimulation maintains pumping at 30% above the no stimulation. Okay, that means what? Suppose in a resting condition, just resting condition. So in a resting condition, our sympathetic nerve giving stimulus to the heart at a very slow rate, very slow rate. So in this condition, our contraction of the heart is maintained very slow rate. Okay, but still it is 30% higher than the no stimulation. It's still 30% higher than the no stimulation. Suppose if you do not have any stimulation from the this one sympathetic nerve, then what happen? Then your heart rate is somewhere around, you can say 60 to 50 per minute. 60 to 50 beats per minute during the normal heart rate if there is no sympathetic nerve stimulation. Suppose তোমার sympathetic nerve কোনো কাম করে নাই, বন্ধ করে দিছে কাম করা, তেতিয়া কি হবে? Your heart rate is maintained at a slow rate. It may be around 50 to 60 beats per minute. Okay, but suppose in resting condition, now my sympathetic nerve is working, but at a very slow rate they are working. So in this condition, our heart rate is now 30% above than the no stimulation. So no stimulation hole kiman hobo 50 to 60 beat. Okay, tatke 30% uporot jabo, tar mane kiman hobo almost 70 to 80 beats per minute. That means in normal condition our heart rate is 70 to 80 beats per minute. Okay, now see, if the sympathetic nerve stimulation is depressed, if the sympathetic nerve stimulation is depressed, that means it is inhibited. So in this condition ki hobo tomar, our heart rate is again going down the normal of 30%. Okay, because in this condition our sympathetic nerve is completely inhibited, functionless. That means our heart rate is going down 30% less to the normal. So normal is having 70 to 80 beats per minute, so 30% less, that means 50 to 60 per minute when there is no regulation by the sympathetic nerve. Okay, so this is about the mechanism of Frank Starling, which is denoted by two scientists, Frank and Starling. Okay, so this is the regulation of the cardiac output by Frank Starling mechanism. Okay, so other mechanisms are also there which can also contribute to the regulation of the cardiac output. Okay, so these other regulations are, okay, so before going to that I am showing here one picture. Okay, so this is the figure, this one, and this is another figure. So these two figure actually demonstrated the Frank Starling law of contraction. Okay, so you can see here, over here, three different lines are here, red color line, black color, and the blue color. Okay, you can see over here length of the muscle, force of the contraction. Okay, length of the muscle, force of the contraction. So when the length of the muscle is increases, force is also increases. Okay, when the length increases, force also increases. That means over here you can see three different lines are here. So this red color line is demonstrate the higher the length, higher the contraction. Black color line, it shows what it is in between the blue color and the red color. Over here the force of contraction is also less and the length of contraction is also less in this condition. But in the blue color you can see the force of contraction and the length of the contraction, again it is going down compared to the red and the black. Okay, so this is, you can see there are two important points are here. From black color to the blue color there is a line which is called negatively inotropic, for example reduced sympathetic activity. Okay, so when the sympathetic nerve is not active, so in this condition the heart rate is reduced. You can see this amount of heart rate is reduced. Okay, that means you can say black color is the normal one, this is a normal heart rate. Black color is a normal heart rate, blue color is the heart rate which is going down when there is no sympathetic nerve stimulation. Okay, and what is red color? Red color is showing when the sympathetic nerve stimulation is there, then our heart rate is also increases. This is the increase time. Okay, this is the increases from the normal period, it is increases to the up to that. Okay, so this is called sympathetic stimulation and this is called there is no sympathetic stimulation. Okay, so this is one diagram. And here is another diagram. It can show over here left ventricle volume and over here left interventricular pressure. Okay, so left ventricular volume is shown over here and over here the pressure. So when the pressure is higher, when the volume is higher, pressure is also higher. Okay, when the volume is higher, pressure is also higher. It is discussed about the left ventricular volume. Why? Because left ventricle is connected to the aorta. I already said the amount of blood which is released through the aorta, okay, per minute is called as a cardiac output. That means it is denoted by the left ventricle because left ventricle is connected to the aorta. Okay, so when the left ventricle is filled with maximum blood, when the left ventricle filled with maximum blood. So in this condition, they generate a maximum pressure. Okay, they generate a maximum pressure, and by the help of this pressure, they ejected out all the blood to the aorta. Okay, they ejected out all the blood to the aorta. So the relaxation of the ventricles, they generate one pressure, and this pressure is called preload pressure. Preload. Okay, the relaxation of the ventricle, they generate one pressure inside the muscle fiber of the heart. It is called preload pressure. Preload. And what is afterload? After the relaxation, now what happened? Inside the aorta, the blood is again backflow. Inside the aorta, the blood again backflow to the ventricle. So this black flow of the blood is prevented by semilunar valve present inside the aorta. Aorta having the semilunar valve. These valves are closed and the backflow is prevented. So in this condition, they generate another pressure inside the heart, and this pressure is called afterload pressure. And due to the help of the afterload pressure, the ventricles are now contract very fast. Okay, so this is the diagram of afterload and the preload pressure, and this is a diagram of the, you can say, Frank-Starling contraction of the heart. Now we go for the another mechanism. Okay, you can see these are the other two mechanisms of regulation of the cardiac output. Okay, one is called neural control and one is called chemical control. Neural regulation and chemical regulation. Okay, so neural regulation is already discussed. Okay, it's already discussed in the Frank-Starling mechanism. It is same. Okay, you can see number one, neural regulation is done by control of the cardiac output by sympathetic and parasympathetic nerve. Okay, so here duta dise sympathetic nerve as well as parasympathetic nerve. In the Frank-Starling mechanism, we discuss about only the sympathetic. Okay, but over here, sympathetic and parasympathetic nerve both are there, which can regulate the cardiac output. And this condition is called neural regulation. Neural regulation, because these are the nerves. These are the nerves which control the cardiac output. That's why this regulation is called neural regulation. Okay, first you see number one, sympathetic regulation. So sympathetic stimulation can increase the heart rate up to 180 to 200 beats per minute. So normal beat is what? 72 beats per minute. But higher stimulation of the sympathetic nerve, our heart rate goes up to the 180 to 200 beats per minute. This is maximum. Okay, sometimes it is also go beyond up to 250 beats per minute. This is maximum. Tatke beshi hobo noare. Tatke beshi hole tomar heart to ki hobo contraction kora bondo kori dibo. Heart may be heart failure. Okay, if our beat is increases up to 250 beats per minute, it's a maximum. Okay, but basically around 180 to 200 beats per minute. Okay, now see, conversely, the inhibition of the sympathetic stimulation can decreases the cardiac pumping of the moderate extension. That means what I already said, if the sympathetic nerve is inhibited, then immediately contraction of the heart or pumping of the heart also decreases. In normal condition, at the slow stimulation of the sympathetic nerve, pumping is around what? 30% above the normal ratio. Okay, so 30% above the normal ratio when slowly our sympathetic nerve regulated the cardiac output. Slowly, normal resting condition, our sympathetic nerve is acting on the heart and slowly acting. That's why our heart rate is working 30% above than the normal heart rate, because our sympathetic nerve is working but at a very slow rate. Okay, but suppose you think our sympathetic nerves are not working at a very slow rate, completely inhibited. When the sympathetic nerves are completely inhibited, in this condition ki hobo, our heart pumping ability or the cardiac output is decreases 30% less to the normal condition. It decreases 30% less to the normal condition. You can see the diagram, you can understood. You can see, this is a normal condition, black color. When the sympathetic nerve is inhibited, 30% less, it becomes blue color, 30% less. And when in normal resting condition, this is the red color. 30% higher than the normal rate. Okay. Then next one, parasympathetic stimulation. Now what is parasympathetic nerve? Parasympathetic nerve is nothing but this is called as a vagus nerve. Vagus nerve is also connected to the heart, and the vagus nerve is called as parasympathetic nerve. Okay. So you can see this is a vagus nerve, parasympathetic nerve. Strong stimulation can stop the heartbeat. Strong stimulation of the vagus nerve can stop the heartbeat. Heartbeat to bondho kori dibo pare for few seconds and reduces up to 20 to 40 beats per minute. Iman komai dibo pare. Our heartbeat up to the 20 to 40 beats per minute when a strong vagus stimulation is occurring. ঠিক আছে, ধৰি লোৱা তোমাৰ এনেকুৱা হ'ল your sympathetic nerve is working very fast. That means your cardiac output becomes 180 to 200 beats per minute. Okay, so how we can control this heartbeat? So by controlling the vagus nerve. In this condition, our vagus nerve control the heartbeat. So when the vagus nerve stimulation started, then immediately our heartbeat is going down up to 20 to 40 beats per minute. 20 to 40 beats per minute. Very slowly our heart is working now because a strong vagus nerve stimulation is occurring, which is called as a parasympathetic stimulation. Okay, so vagus nerve distributed mainly to the atrial region. In the aorta, vagus nerve is distributed, but in the ventricles, the vagus nerve is not distributed. They are connected only to the aorta. So what happened? So vagal stimulation decreases the heart rate. Vagal stimulation decreases the heart rate, but not decreases the strength of the heart contraction. Okay, because vagus nerve is not connected to the ventricles. Okay, ventricles are mainly comprising with the strength of the contraction. Strength of the contraction is denoted by the ventricles. Okay, vagus nerve is not connected to the ventricles. That's why the strength of the heartbeat is not decreases, but still our heartbeat is decreases. Heartbeat is decreases because it is connected to the aorta. It is connected to the atria. Atria having a particular pacemaker which is called SA node. SA node is present in the atria. SA node generate the signals. So when the SA node generate the signals, then continuously our heartbeat started for 0.8 second. Every 0.8 second our heartbeat is contract and relaxed. Okay, so now see, vagus nerve is connected to the atria only. That means vagus nerve can regulate the SA node so that our heartbeat is reduces to 20 to 40 beats per minute. But still our heart contraction strength, the strength of the heart contraction, it not decreases because our muscles of the ventricles are not connected to the vagus nerve. Okay, that's why strength is the remain same, but heartbeat is decreases up to 20 to 40 beats per minute. Okay, so this is called as the neural regulation of the heartbeat. Neural regulation by sympathetic and parasympathetic stimulation. Okay, so these are the diagram showing the sympathetic and parasympathetic regulation. You can see, so this is the heart, these are the sympathetic regulation. You can see these are sympathetic nerve, sympathetic nerve. So these sympathetic nerve are connected to the heart directly. You can see they are connected directly. Sympathetic nerve connected directly. Okay, but you can see that means sympathetic nerve is connected to the atria as well as ventricle. Auricles and the ventricles both are connected by sympathetic nerve. But you can see these are the vagus nerve. This one vagus nerve, this one vagus nerve. So vagus nerve is connected only to the atria. It is not connected to the ventricles. Ventricular connection nine. So ventricle is not connected by vagus nerve. These two are the parasympathetic nerve. That's why these two parasympathetic nerve only control the SA node. They can control the SA node and the heartbeat is reduces up to 40 beats per minute. 20 to 40 beats per minute. But the contraction strength of the heart is not decreases because this vagus nerve is not connected to the this one ventricles. They only connected to the auricles. Okay, but the sympathetic nerve, they are connected the whole heart. Okay, and they can reduces the heartbeat or they can fast the heartbeat. Okay, you can see this one, another picture over here. Right atrial pressure, cardiac output. This is the right atrial pressure and the cardiac output. Okay, the pressure is generated in the right atrium by different stimulation. You can see maximum sympathetic stimulation. When the stimulation of the sympathetic nerve is maximum in the right atria, in this condition cardiac output is very high. You can see cardiac output is very high. Why? Because the right atria having the SA node, if the sympathetic nerve activated the SA node generate more stimulation, and that's why cardiac output is also more. So cardiac output, you can see, is very high. Okay, then normal sympathetic stimulation. The normal condition is a normal condition. Okay, normal heartbeat, cardiac output per minute. Normal cardiac output per minute. Higher stimulation, maximum output per minute. Then zero sympathetic stimulation. Sympathetic stimulation is zero. No sympathetic stimulation in this condition. This is the cardiac output per minute. Very less. Okay. And then last one, parasympathetic stimulation. When the vagus nerve acting on the SA node, in this condition you can see our cardiac output is again going down. You can see very less. Only 20 to 40 beats per minute. This is maximum. It will be 180 to 200 beat per minute. 180 to 200 beat per minute. It will be 72 beat per minute. It will be 50 to 60 beat per minute. Or it will be 20 to 40 beats per minute. Okay. So this is the sympathetic and parasympathetic regulation of heartbeat. Okay. So next one you can see chemical regulation. How different chemicals regulated the heartbeat. Okay. So basically two important chemicals are there. One is called potassium and one is called calcium. Okay. Calcium and potassium, they can also regulate the cardiac output. Okay. How they regulate it? You can see excess potassium ion in the extracellular fluid causes the heart become dilated and flaccid and slows the heart rate. Okay, that means if in our body the excess amount of potassium molecule is there, if in our body the excess amount of potassium molecules are there in the extracellular fluid, in this condition our heart is dilated. Our heart to give a dilated. Our heart is dilated and it becomes flaccid, fully jabo. Heart is swell or flaccid and heart is dilated when the excess amount of potassium is there in the extracellular fluid. So that means our heart rate is slows down. Our heartbeat to give komi jabo because heart is dilated. Heart or ki hoise, heart to fully goise, heart to jodi fully jai tete ki hobo, it cannot contract and relax very smoothly. That's why heart rate becomes slows down, komi jabo. ठीक है? Actually komi kyo jai, this is the actual reason. You can see excess potassium decreases the resting membrane potential in the cardiac muscle fiber. Okay, so cardiac muscle fiber having a resting potential. Okay, normally the resting potential is minus 70 millivolt. You can remember the normal resting potential of a muscle fiber is minus 70 millivolt. Okay, when the excess amount of potassium is present in the heart, so in this condition this resting potential is again going down to the minus 70 millivolt. It becomes suppose minus 10 millivolt, minus 20 millivolt, less than minus 70 millivolt. Ako komi jabo. Tete ki hobo? When the resting membrane potential is going down, in this condition the membrane potential also decreases. So when the membrane potential decreases, contraction of the heart is also decreases, because contraction of the heart is depend on the delivery of electric impulse by SA node. Delivery of electric impulse by the SA node, it also depend on the cardiac output, because jibane fast tumar electric impulse to ahibo SA node pora, hibane fast hobo cardiac output hobo, contraction hobo, relaxation hobo. When this stimulation by SA node is going very slow, बहुत slow जरी हो जाए कि होगा, our cardiac output is also going slow. That means heartbeat is also very slow. Okay, because the resting membrane potential is going down. When the resting membrane potential going down, normal membrane potential is also going down. When the normal membrane potential going down, then also it also decreases the contraction of the heart rate. Okay, so this is about the effect of potassium. Now see, if the amount of potassium is also if the amount of potassium level, if it is increases, that decreases the heart rate. This is number one. If the amount of potassium is going down in the blood or in the extracellular fluid, if the amount of potassium present inside the extracellular fluid is going down, in this condition the cardiac output is increases. When the amount of potassium ion is decreases in the extracellular fluid, it increases the heartbeat. But when the excess amount of potassium is present in the extracellular fluid, it can decreases the heart rate. Both are vice versa. Okay. Then the next one, regulation by calcium ion. You can see it is completely opposite than the this one potassium. Potassium, when increases potassium, they decreases the heart rate. When potassium decreases, it increases the heart rate. But it is exactly opposite in case of the calcium ion. You can see excess calcium ion have exactly opposite. It increases the heart rate. If the calcium ion is more in the extracellular fluid, it can increases the heart rate. Or if the calcium ion is less in the extracellular fluid, it can decreases the heart rate. Okay, so it is completely proportional to the amount of calcium ion and the heart rate. Completely proportional. If calcium ion is going up, heart rate is also going up. If calcium ion going down, heart rate is also going down. But if the potassium ion going up, heart rate going down, inversely proportional. But if the potassium ion going down, heart rate is going up. Okay, so this is called as the chemical regulation of the cardiac output. The chemicals are potassium ion and the calcium ion. Okay, so other than the chemical, another parameter is there which is called temperature. Our body temperature. Our body temperature also regulated the cardiac output. Okay, so when our body temperature is increases, our body temperature varies, then our heartbeat or heart rate is also increases. When body temperature is going up, our heart rate or heartbeat or cardiac output is also increases. Okay, when our body temperature going down, in this condition our heart rate or cardiac output is also going down. It is proportionate to the temperature. Is temperature going up, heartbeat also going up. Is temperature going down, heartbeat also going down. Okay, so these are some of the parameters which can control or regulate the cardiac output. Okay, hopefully you all understood. So this is about it. Thank you very much. So if you have any queries, any doubts regarding this topic, you can ask. So Jansi, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
So any queries, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. So other members, Tonusri, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So any question, if you have any question, you can ask now. So if you do not have any questions, you can leave now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.